Hi, Stephen. Yeah, I'm good, thanks. So welcome to the Sunday night talk. I'm going to make this a bit bigger, actually. Put my Harry Potter specs on. Welcome to the Sunday night talk. And I have an announcement to make, but I'm going to make it in a minute. So before that, below you can see that... oh, thank you. Yeah, so if you want to do a one-to-one Skype with me, you can see my website. There's also there is my books. I'm going to be in London this weekend on the Saturday and the Sunday, next weekend, 10th and 11th. Hope to see some of you there. And what else? I'm having a 6-day meeting here in Spain. I have a tissue. 1 moment. Hi, Paul. So, my announcement. Hi, Donnie. This talk is going to be the last live free broadcast that I do. Yeah, 6 days. Hey, Jim. Okay, I'm trying to avoid the chat until I finish this announcement. So this is going to be the last free live broadcast I do. Last week, I don't know, it just didn't feel right to keep doing it. I've been doing it for 3 years, like without a break, really, except for when I go backpacking. 3 years of not charging for meetings, and it's just time for me to stop doing it. I'm still going to do the broadcasts, but I'm only going to do them for patrons. And so, yeah, so that's the way it is. It'll be exactly the same. Still have the chat thing. And what else? And then I'll just put a bit of it up onto YouTube, you know, just so that the patrons don't feel diddled out of subscribing. So the already existing patrons get it, and what happens is people become a patron. You can see it on there. It's only going to be $10 a month. I mean, that's nothing really. It's a price of a cup of coffee a week. I will be away sometimes, but that's the way it is. But normally I'm not, unless I go away for a month backpacking, which I am doing in February. So yeah, so you can sign up for that, and then a couple of days before I will put a link in Patreon, and everybody will get that link, and we'll do the same as this. And I'm very sorry for those who have enjoyed the free talks, but it is really time for me to change it. One of the main reasons is I don't like asking for donations. I feel like I'm really done with that. Yeah, I don't enjoy it, so I'm stopping. But, you know, I'll still be doing my webinars, and I'll still be doing this to patrons, and I'll still be putting up content on YouTube. Yeah, I think that's all I have to say about it, really. Feels weird changing it, because I've been doing it week in, week out for 3 years this December, pretty much. And yeah, I had a few opinions about it, but, you know, I have to go with what feels right. And this is what's going on. This is what's happening. And actually, one of the comments brings me onto the subject I thought I might go into And someone tried to non-dual the whole situation by saying there isn't. Hey, Anne. Hey, Cloud Skipper. Trying to non-dual the whole situation, you know, like there isn't anyone who's giving anything to nobody. I couldn't hardly read it. It was just so like, it was just so non-dual in the worst possible way, you know, because life is as it is, and life is doing whatever, you know, whatever happens, and that can be anything. Okay, I'm just going to give an intro first. So what that, you know, you can't non-dual your way out of this. Doesn't matter what you say, you know, it doesn't matter what the brain says. Oh, there is no one, you know, there is nothing that's been given, there is nothing that's got from this, there's no one giving anything and everything like that. But you see, there isn't anything that's anything. And if you think there is something actually going on here, which paradoxically there is, but if you, in terms of getting something, then the message hasn't really been heard. You can't work it out mentally by saying that, you know, you just can't, because working it out mentally is what is. All there is what is. And that's that. That's that. There's nothing that more can be said about that. Unless I get a poetical romantic moment where I'll just, you know, write a poem or something. But really, there's just what is happening. And anything that's trying to work that out or get to it is what is commonly referred to as the me or a me. But it's not a me, you see. It's a construct that happens in the human that feels like it needs to get something, that feels incomplete. That's just the way it is. That's just the way it appears. Jim, we all still got to live. Yeah. Just because I'm like not giving you anything like you know, a voucher for a Coca-Cola or something to improve your hair or something doesn't mean that, you know, my time is free. You know, it doesn't mean because I do a lot of work behind the scenes. Actually, it's not just this. I have to set it up, and I have to update my website, and I have to reply to emails and messages and things that people want to know about stuff. You know, it's not just this. So and that's not free anymore. So there we go. And I quite like that. I quite like it. You know, and people are concerned that the views will drop, but so what? So what? Who cares? Who cares how many views there are? I enjoy speaking about this. It's a passion for me. I love it. I just love it because it's so free and so crazy and so wild, and you can't get anything from it. But it's just the beauty of life. It's the ultimate lover. It's everything. It's talking about everything. You just can't name what it is. It can't be understood what it is, but it just is. So there was a passion for this. It doesn't mean I want to be an idiot as well, because this is not a spiritual message. It's not a spiritual message. I'm not telling anybody that there is some sort of ultimate enlightenment, spiritual heaven to get to. No, there's just sitting in a room, speaking, and you can't figure your way out of that, or figure your way into it, or whatever the idea is that you have, that there is something to get. I need to get rid of my emotions. I need to stop thinking. I need to get what she's talking about. You can forget it, because that is what is. It's ironically what you're looking for. That is the irony. And it's a beautiful irony, and it's a hilarious irony, but also a frustrating thing for the seeker. Sunil, I don't know what I am, but I came to know what I am not. Is there an I to know what it's not? But I think I know what you mean. I can't say what I'm not, but I can say that the person that apparently was appearing here, called Lisa, is no longer operating. Excuse me. Oh, and also, I just want to thank all those who have donated in the past 3 years as well, and I do acknowledge it. I see every person's name, I acknowledge it. I'm very grateful. I'm very grateful to the patrons as well. They really help support my work. But yeah, I don't want to forget those who have. And it's always the same ones. So those same ones who contribute will do the Patreon anyway. So, and then I don't have to ask, which is great. So I'm open to questions or comments or discussing this, discussing this, that there is only this, that there is only this. And there are always questions about it. Deep space, money can be a pain in the arse. It sure can, deep space. Excuse me. It's a pain in the arse, but an essential pain in the arse. There's no way out of it. Not if I want a computer and an internet and electricity and all that stuff. It's an essential pain in the arse. For some reason, people think that non-duality speakers make money. I know for a fact that they don't. Maybe Tony, but nobody else really does. SS, hi SS. Why is it so hard to realize that there's no choice? Because nobody realizes it. It just becomes as plain as day that there is no one to realize that there is no choice. Choice only appears for the apparent individual. That's its experience. I am here, I am real, and choices are real. If there's an individual operating there, operating, it's not going to realize there's no choice. It's not hard to realize it. It's impossible to realize it. When there's no individual, there's no choice, and none of it matters. None of it matters. It was just a big storm in a teacup, the whole thing. Only someone can have choice. Choice appears, but it's not really choice. It's more like preferences. Preferences still operate. But it's not a choice. It's just presented with two things, which is very rare for the two things to be presented. Choices are actually never presented, shall I or shan't I? There's just a preference. Like when I booked to go backpacking, there is not going or going. The preference is to go because I love backpacking. So not a choice, it's a preference which operates on its own. Like waking up in the morning operates on its own. It's just the same. No one chooses to wake up. It just happens. And so do preferences. I mean, you don't choose whether to be warm or really cold. There's no choice in that. The body just goes towards, I'm not going to sit here and choose. What would I rather? Would I rather be sitting here shivering or put a jumper on? No. Just go and put a jumper on. It's not even a choice, is it? I'd be interested to know what there is to choose. I mean, I can't even, what is there to choose? Between what and what? These are just like, they're more like intellectual ideas. Choice. Like, what does that even mean? It doesn't even mean anything. That's just the idea of choice. The end of someone is the end of everything. It's so totally the same and totally ordinary, but extremely different. Because all those things go out the window. Choice. I don't know what else. Forgotten already. It's been so long. I've forgotten what used to operate. Something used to operate. Oh, I forgot to say at the beginning, I'm not going to be here next Sunday because I'm going to be in London. But that gives you 2 weeks if you want to join my live broadcasts to get that set up. I'm thinking about having individual payments if people don't want to sign up, but I haven't decided yet. Yeah. Sunil, is everything a thought? Is everything a thought? There is no thinker. No, thoughts are thoughts. And the appearance that I am the thinker is a construct that is, I guess you could say it's created in the brain. I don't really know. It feels like it when I think about it. It feels like it was an illusory person operating on a kind of psycho emotional level. But it's no, that wasn't the thinker. It was just an appearance that I am the thinker. So no, there is no thinker. There are thoughts. And not everything is a thought. There are thoughts, there are tables, there are computers, there is water. They're all the same life, but they appear differently. See, when you start asking, is everything a thought? It's like you're just trying to put it into some sort of intellectual realm, which is outside of actually what is going on. That's what the seeker does, you see. It puts what it's looking for in an imaginary place, which isn't here, or is here, but it's trying to like make it into a concept. Is it all thought? Is it all a dream? Is it all whatever? You can't know what this is because there's no knower. There's only something thinking it's a knower. The seeker, it seeks to know. It seeks to get there. When it is what is. People sometimes say that the me is the thought, but it's not, is it? It's really kind of a whole psycho-emotional construct, which is kind of imbued and solidified into a absolute reality. It becomes a reality. I am me, I am here, I am real, I have choice. I need to find a way out. I need to die. I need to do this. I need to do that. when it's just is. And it only matters to the seeker. When there's no seeker, none of that matters anymore. Sometimes people ask me, what's it like, talking to other me's? It's like, well, what me's? There are no me's. There are no other people. There are other humans who are either I enjoy or I don't enjoy, or have no thought of. Stephen, the brain apparently decides whether or not the body will be wearing white or black socks. The brain has no center, but it apparently creates this artificial me that needs to choose. Yeah. Creates it till it becomes a whole cellular level thing. It feels absolutely imbued into the whole body. It thinks it's the body, and the edge of itself is the skin. Me. Hi, Phyllis. It says, trying to convince someone about this, that it's all just happening, is tiring, especially with family. Why would you bother? What would be the point? It's absolutely just pointless trying to do that. Because you're trying to convert someone to an idea. Because for them, it's not just what's happening. It's their whole world is how they are, and it's pointless for them to be any different. And no one will ever accept that. I've never spoken about this outside of this. I've never spoken to anyone about it unless they already have an interest in it. Otherwise, forget it. You're just gonna drive yourself mad and drive them mad. Phyllis, great reminder of spontaneity of it all. Even the me, I guess, appears spontaneously. Yes. Hi, Enzo. Hi, Bonka. You're late. You're going to have to listen to the beginning of this recording because I made a big announcement. This is a wonder. This is a wonder that just appears. It is appearing. It doesn't appear. It is here. It's here. As ordinary room. James D. The convincing the others. Yeah. Yeah. It's life trying to convince life of life. It's pointless. And it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter that you know, you just got to leave people alone, really. Unless they come to you. Because ironically, they are the life that you're trying to convince. They are what is happening. They are the aliveness. Deep space and try to convince themselves. Oh, they sure do. Thank you, Bunker. You're definitely going to have to listen to the beginning. Yeah. I get some tell you deep space, I get some things on my wall on Facebook. Oh, the comedy show. Stephen, talking to an apparent Buddhist on Friday that has been studying intensely for 40 plus years. I asked them if they thought they were liberated or enlightened yet. They said they weren't fully enlightened. Their self hasn't fully evolved yet. Yeah, because that's the enlightened self, isn't it? You know, Buddhism is about the enlightenment of the self and all this reincarnation stuff, and you know, got to love it. Yeah. Yeah, well, it's kind of misguided, but also alive as well, you know? Alive as well. I can't make any sense out of that, can you? Just can't. That's what's happening. Yeah. Someone's saying they're not enlightened yet after 40 plus years, but they are, because that what is what is being searched for. Got to turn everything the opposite way up, and you be a little bit closer to nothing. But it's not about evolving. It's not about changing. It's not about moving forward. There's no moving forward. This is it. This is it. There is never going to be anything else ever. This is eternal, absolute. Hi, Joe. Stephen, lovely pod. It's not happening to me. Yeah, because all that striving and seeking is so tedious and long-winded. 40 plus years, man. And his self is not fully evolved. Into what? Into some imaginary nirvana story. But if you know how that floats your boat, nothing's a waste. It's all just what is. Hey, Joe, I want to ask you something. Could you send me an email? Just so I have your email, please. And I'll tell you why once you've done it. Because I don't know how to get in touch with you. Hi, CDD. Enzo. Maybe we're all dumb by the... Dumb. Sorry. Maybe we are all numb by the concept of time, and now is eternal. I think it's the seeking, actually. It's so, it's this like perpetual motion. It's like a perpetual motion, always going to forwards or backwards. So I know what you mean. I wouldn't even say this is now. You can't place this. You can't place this. I have no idea what this is. It's not it's not a moment. It's not in time. It's not like in between time. The now is like in between time. Sorry. This is not in between time. This is the whole of everything, including the concept of time. All the memories, thoughts, projections into the future, next week, last year, is this. It's all happening here. And, sorry. Sunhill. Everything seems to be perceived, but who is perceiving all this? I'm stoked perceiver cannot be perceived. There is no perceiver. There is no perceiver. There is only the one. It doesn't need perceiving. It is. The perceiver is the idea I am perceiving from the separate individual. And that's an illusion of perceiving. And when that's not longer there, there's no need for anything to be perceived because it already is. It's perceiving becomes redundant. This I'm stuck perceiver cannot be perceived. I mean, no, the perceiver can't be perceived unless it does some sort of mind leap called awareness, which is still the same one. And I was listening to Robert Wolf today, and he said the observer is the observed. What observer? I don't even know what that means. What observer? The observer. There is no observer. There doesn't need to be an observer. The observer is a me. The observer is the observed. That sounds like a real intellectual mind twister to me. Stephen, interesting thing is what I heard Tony say and you say. There is no one seen, but there does appear to be a person with a story when the body speaks. Yeah, appears to be. Yeah, but so what? Yeah, of course. Yeah, here's a lamp. I could give it a story. Bought it in London. So what? So what? Doesn't matter. Oh, thank you, Joe. Let me just copy that down. I meant email me privately. Now I've given everyone your email address. I will email you. Yeah. Yeah. James, Cosmic Entertainment. Yeah. Wave Sun, please explain the connection between the energetic body, muscle stress and constrictions, and the strong ego, in contrary to state of being free from ego. It's not that anybody would be free of ego. Ego, me, perceiver, observer, I, self, higher self, lower self, disassociated awareness, libido, all these things, me, can never be free of ego. That is the construct of the separate individual. The connection between energetic body, I don't know anything about that. I used to think I did, but that all left. Now I don't understand anything. Energetic body. I don't know what an energetic body is anymore. I used to think there was some kind of, I can't even remember now. All I can say is there apparently was somebody here who thought she was a person called Lisa, who had a life, who was stressed, who tried to become free, who tried all sorts of things, always trying, get stressed, anxious, all these things. And then one day, that was no longer there. And it was really clear that that whole drama was not actually a person. It was never a person. It was never anybody. It was something like a dream state going on, which was so real. It was like that was what was being operated from, like in some sort of dream. But I don't know any links to that energetic body, sorry. And I had to think about it too, but it kind of eliminates the observer and becomes one. There is an, oh, you go on. I had to think about, oh, you said it twice. Yeah, observer, it's like that would be from a position of me. And observation is only from a position of me in these terms. It is not a thing. What do you mean, Sunil? Does it eliminate the observer, though? I think it sounds confusing. I need to read it again. He said the observer is the observed. It doesn't really say that, though, does it? That it's one. It says is the observed. Now, who would observe the observer? There is no observer. Observe the sense of I am the observer is no different than the wall. But no one's observing the wall, and no one's observing the observer, because it's only just the one field. It's just only the one life, or whatever you want to call it. Becomes very complicated when that kind of language starts getting used. It gives the seeking energy something to chew on. The seeking energy loves something to chew on. Try to work it out. I want to work it out. That gives me something to work out. Then you get into the realms of like disassociated awareness kind of teachings. Which is like, that sounds like hard work for the me. And a lot of me's get very disappointed with it when they're not able to maintain the disassociated awareness. It's kind of a trance-like state, really. It's not necessary. It's a road to nowhere. Road to here, which is nowhere. Stephen, are you ever invited to satsangs anymore? And if so, do you attend? Though there's no one attending. No, I don't get. Oh my God, no. I'd be the last person they want. And no, I would never attend a satsang. No. I can't think of anything actually worse. Because this is like, it's always like this reverence for the speaker. And that's another trap. That's another trap to keep the seeker seeking, because like the seeker then sees like this person sat there staring so beautifully at everybody, deeply. You know, it gives the seeker the idea that they have something I don't have. I was invited to one next Saturday. Oh, good luck with that. Not my bag. My understanding is what is seen is what you are. But there's no you, Anne. There's no, that's like saying the lamp is me. T, I hear you. All right. I was thinking, oh, tea. Yeah, whatever floats your boat, you know, I you know, it's just, you know, you ask me what I do, and that's a no. Yeah. But you know, if it doesn't matter. Yeah, so it's like saying I'm the lamp. What would be the point in that? What do you say again? What is seen is what you are. So there's a lamp, and that's what I am. That's a bit of a mental leap, I think. There's just lamp. It's lamp. Just appearing. Lamp. Is it seen or is it a lamp? You know? That's a really big mental leap, that sort of stuff. Cloud Skipper. Dreaming. Oh, yeah, sorry, it's your name, Dreaming. Is the me like a rainbow? It appears when conditions are right, but is sort of an illusion. In a way, yeah, it just comes up, doesn't it? Because it's not there all the time, but it's dormant most of it. It's dormant some of the time, or most of the time, and in some poor people, hardly any of the time. It just comes up, you know. It just comes to the foreground. And when, you know, when you're engrossed in a movie or something, it kind of drops back again, but it's always dormant. It's always there. Because anything can provoke it, you see. But when it's gone, it's gone. There's no provocation of the me, of identity, identifying with something. But it is it's illusory, I would say. It's illusory. It's like dreaming. It's like the human's dreaming. It's a person. When everything it's looking for is actually right here. But because it's dreaming it's a person, this is not good enough. Then in my dream, I have to find a way out. But that's part of the dream, finding a way out. There is no way out. Because it's not real. There's no real person to find a way out of an unreal person. Hi, lithology. Some time I have been placing my attention on the thoughts and emotions I've always run away from. When I do this, it seems that some energy suffering is released. Does that have anything to do with non-duality? No, that's psychotherapy. And yet, ironically, it is. The whole of life happening is that. There is nothing separate. It's like there's not non-duality in the rest of life. The whole of it is life, all of it. But I would not say that. I mean, that's just a kind of sounds like a sort of undoing of conditioning or undoing of suffering. But the me cannot be undone. Stephen, probably just sit there and keep my mouth shut. What could I say? Lol. Probably a firing squad there. Oh, you could bet on it. I had people writing essays about me in the Sangha I used to be in. I was such a kind of antichrist. Oh my god. You can't say anything. Can't say anything. Well, you can, but yeah, you're gonna have a firing squad. Oh, infamy. Wei son, I feel there must be some connection between the tightness in the body, muscles, and tightness of the mind, ego. Oh, I see. Okay. All I can say is when that dream of a person is no longer there, the body really relaxes. Yes, sorry, I think I misunderstood before. Yeah, I always think of energy body as a kind of something kind of more esoteric. But yeah, the body definitely relaxes. All that neurotic tension just it's gone. And it's a deep tightness. The apparent person is a deep, deep tightness. Doesn't mean that sometimes this body gets tense, you know. Especially like I find I tense up if I'm watching a really dramatic movie. But that's not a deep tension. That deep tension that's held by all those years of identification is held in like every cell almost. That's how it felt. Like every cell holding on tight. Sunil, I can't bear my silence. There is something that interrupts as mind. It's all silence, Sunil. It's all silence. You see, silent mind as a practice is not going to bring you to this. It's not going to bring you to this. It's already here, you see. As much as like the whole person rejects that, but I can't find it. I need to silence my mind, then I'll find it. It's already here. It's here as the one trying to silence the mind. What do you mean the me cannot be undone? Well, no practice is going to undo the me. No practice. Can't be undone by practice, by trying, by wanting. The me is not real, you see. The penny drops and there's a glimpse, or it's like suddenly obvious and the me comes back. There's this, that can happen. Or the penny drops, or it just vanishes and it's really just gone. Lysology. So what brought about the end of Lisa? Well, the end of Lisa is just a story. There was no Lisa. It's this. The end of Lisa is this, because now it's just a picture, a thought. And nobody brings that about, you see. Nobody brings about this. In this, there can appear like there's an apparent person. That's what happens in the human. That can happen. But nothing brings the end of that. It just changes. It's still this. No one's doing it. There's nothing happening that's a cause and effect. It's all just one spontaneous explosion of energy. Constantly. Infinitely. There's nothing that's come to this. There's nothing that's arrived. James, but no causation that makes the body relax. But no causation that makes the body relax. Joe. CDD. Suddenly it was a different experience for no one. Yeah, but only apparently, because really it's this. Lisa several years ago is this. There was no Lisa several years ago. It was like life was doing the experiencing, not me. You could call it that, yeah, but I don't know if life is experiencing. It's so beyond that. It's crushingly divine. I don't mean divine. I mean beautiful. Beautiful. But it's not good enough, says me. I want my enlightened experience. You see, the me is an experience. It's an illusion of experience. I'm experiencing myself, and therefore I'm experiencing everything else. But without that there's no experience. There's nobody here experiencing the lamp. I'm experiencing the lamp. Look, I'm experiencing it going off and on. No. It's part of the dream is experience. James, non-dual awareness, I guess, seems to cause relaxing. Yeah, hearing the message can create a relaxation, especially when a lot of the seeking drops away. The seeking in practices and all the trying and failing and all these practices. That can be quite relaxing when it becomes obvious that isn't going anywhere. SS. Can you say no one is experiencing? No. There's no experiencing. It's not necessary for what is to be happening. Experiencing is not necessary for it to be. It's like the me can only see things it can only exist because I'm looking at it. It can only exist because I'm here. Well, guess what? When that's no longer there, nothing changes in terms of how everything is. Nothing changes. All that changes is there's no longer operation of a illusory dream of a person. Apart from that, nothing changes. Mythology. How come when I listen to non-duality, it hits the spot somehow? Like something happens somewhere deep. Yeah. Someone asked me that the other day, actually. And it's because what is being spoken of is actually the case. It's undeniably what is. All there ever is what is. It's undeniable. However you try to get out of it with thoughts and ideas and concepts, it's undeniable that what is all there is. So it's like something there is going, yeah, of course. Of course I know this. I know this. But then the perpetual kind of me experience still trundles on over the top of that. But yes, that's why I think. And what do you think when you look in the mirror and see the body that was believed to be you? I'd never ever had that thought. Because there wasn't anybody who was the body. It's just like the end of a dream, really. I'd never actually had that thought that this body was believed to be Lisa. Lisa was just a complete dream. This body was, I don't know. Wave sun. So we just wait for a miracle to happen because there is nothing we can do about it. And there is no we, and no me, and no you. It's so frustrating. Yeah, well, it's the dream of waiting. And it's not that you can't do anything about it, it's that the you is a dream of somebody happening in that human. It has no actual power. But at the same time, it is the life, it is the aliveness that you're actually looking for. What is happening, what is apparently happening, is what you're actually looking for. So you're waiting. You're waiting to be where you are, ironically. Stephen, who's flying the ducks? Who's barking the dogs? What is? And it's more immediate than your own breath. Absolutely. Who's flying the ducks? Mythology. So is there a process? So is there a process of awakening? No, there's no process because there's nothing going anywhere. Oh, so is this a process? No, this is not a process. I am certainly not advocating a process. This is it. Just this. There cannot be a process to get to this because there's nobody who could get to this because the somebody is this. It's already done. Beautiful, Stephen. Yeah, really beautiful. It's done. And yet, a lot of people listen to this message and they can be like, oh yeah, that can happen. Okay, it's after 9. And I better say this again because some people joined late. I know some people aren't going to like it very much. But this is my last free talk. Nothing else, just this. Yeah, just this. This is my last free talk. I'm going to go over it again. Sorry, guys, who've heard this before, but some people have joined after. I've been doing this for 3 years, as you know, every week. And I need to change it. I'm going to change it. That's what's happening. And so I'm still going to give the live talks on Sunday night, same time, same place, but they will be for my patrons only. And one of the main reasons is I need contributions. I do need contributions because I put a lot of work into this. You know, it's not just this, it's messages and emails and organizing things and running my website. And but I really don't want to ask for them anymore. I'm kind of done with that. And I'm also sick of working for free. I'm sure a lot of people understand that because it is my time. However, some people try to non-dual it up the wazoo. It is my time. And so the people who already give, they will get it. They will get the live talk. Stephen. Wilson, please give me more details about the meeting in Spain. Yeah, it's on my website. Yeah, if you just go to talks and events, it's even actually on the front on my homepage as well. Yeah, everything's in there. Dates, times, where it is, all that stuff. We're still working out where people can stay, but probably Airbnb and stuff like that. Oh, thank you, Donnie. And if anyone has any questions about how to continue coming to my live events, this basically, if you want to still come to this, then there is a page on my website called YouTube Live. It doesn't cost a lot. It's less than a cup of coffee a week, people. But it's subscription. It's subscription. And through the subscription, you get the link to the live broadcast. And you won't be able to see it afterwards either. I'm sorry. But I will put up probably the intro. Yeah. So I can put something up at least. But yeah. This is the end. Thanks, guys. It's hot. Ooh. It was freezing earlier. Okay, better go. If there's any questions about future meetings, just get in touch with me so we can subscribe right now. Yeah, you might as well wait. I'm going to be away for 2 weeks. So I'm not back next week. I'm back the week after. And you can subscribe. Yeah, subscribe at least 3 days before because I'll probably link the talk like 2 days, maybe on the Friday and the Saturday, just to make sure that people get it. Thank you. Jim, thanks, Lisa, for all the broadcasts over the 3 years. Really appreciate it. Soonest. Thank you. Betrayals. Thank you. And thank you for all those who have been joining me over the past 3 years. And, you know, it's happening because that's what I need to happen. But also I feel a little bit sad, but has to be done. Oh, thank you. Yeah, it's only $10 a month. It's like, you know, not much. Yeah. But it's worth it for me just for the sake of not having to ask. God, I hate that. Oh, thank you. Thank you. Yeah, I do love it. I love it. I love it. It's not that I'm like bored of talking. No, I love it. It's the most wonderful thing. Depends how much, Wave Son. I don't think it's going to be a discount for $2.50 a week, though. Anyway, guys, thanks for joining me, and I will speak to some of you on Wednesday. Thanks, Anne. And I will see some of you this next weekend. Yeah, next weekend. Yeah, in London. So I'll see some of you then. Otherwise, see you 2 weeks' time.